Here we go.
Oh,
Yet another episode of the CapmLew podcast. You got CapmLew. You got
Luke, here I am.
we're over here up in this finch.
That's not a bad word.
No,
It's a bird.
it's a beautiful tiny bird.
They're small.
It's actually a series of tiny birds.
Really? It's a class of bird?
I know that there are many kinds of finch. For example, the golden finch.
I think that's from Harry Potter.
I neither confirm nor deny that any of the biological references I use are from the Harry Potter world. Well, it's the CapmLew podcast, and
No.
I want to talk about a public person today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah, I do. I want to talk about a public person, and the problem. All right, first of all, I'm a public person.
Yeah, it's
I went and did this.
I know. This is on you.
For what it's worth. It is on me.
I know.
And not everything I say is going to be good. Not everything that you say is going to be good, but
Yeah.
we're here. And for what it's worth, we're going to give it what we got. We're
Mhm.
going to throw some stuff out there and keep throwing some stuff out there.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here today, bud.
Thanks, bud. I love you. I love doing
Yeah,
it.
this was an interesting day. I had my day job was, kind of, and we were at one of those common inflection points of like, hey man, do we need to cast today or not? What's the Lord cooking up here?
Mm-hmm.
And Luke made some calls and like that, and here we are. We're starting about a half an hour later than we usually do. We usually
Indeed.
start about 4:30.
Mm-hmm. Or 4:45.
It is actually Tuesday, October 24th right now,
Indeed.
and this will probably go up tonight. You've
It will.
been awesome.
That's because I do homework every night, so I'm just up there and just upload them.
Dude, I was stunned to see not only the
Spotify?
Spotify and Apple podcasts, but also the GoobTube goes right up.
It's completely their flush.
Yeah.
It's an empire, baby.
Speaking of empires, numbers are rising.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's entertaining.
It is, dude.
I delight in the irony of this podcast.
Yeah, see? Look at this.
I don't even know if that's real. Oh, that's on YouTube.
Yeah, the last 28 days, that's how many views. But this one has...
You're telling me that in the last 28 days, we've had 5.5 hours of watch time on YouTube.
On YouTube.
That's not bad.
I think some people they don't do the Spotify deal.
Through, maybe.
Yeah, they want to do that thing. But check this out.
Mm-hmm.
So you got
17.
25 and 17, but if you add that together with the numbers from Spotify, it's like 40 or 50 views per, which is kind of,
What, too high for you?
It's freaking me out, dude.
Because of how high the numbers are?
Yeah, it's like so much. They screamed into the void.
It's at this point I'd like to redirect the episode to a series on goal making.
Stop.
Setting goals.
Dude. Stop, dude. I have an amazing marketing opportunity for you.
Possibilities. The bar. Too low?
Yeah.
Never. Never. The bar can never be too low.
I hate disappointment. Just keep it low, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, I feel just like you. Except I don't feel freaked out by it. I'm pretty committed to ignoring a large amount of all that goes on around our podcast.
Yeah, that's
my focus here with you, Luke, and with our dear listeners is on the doing it.
That's wise.
Positively putting out where we're at, what we're about, and then we figure that it'll find its listeners, and its listeners will find it. And if people don't like it, the beautiful thing is they don't listen.
Yeah.
Or they don't watch.
Right.
I feel like that is a fine arrangement.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I know.
I really don't have a heartfelt desire for you to subscribe and smash a like button. Ugh. I don't have that. Yeah, we both cringe at that. And let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
I'm going to talk about John Hill.
Okay.
For those of our listeners who might not know who John Hill is, he is a dear, darling man of many good qualities. I like him.
He seems like a really nice guy, dude.
I wouldn't say that I know John Hill.
Have you met him? Didn't you meet him? Wasn't he banging around here in the very beginning, in the OG
He
days?
was back in 2005, 6,
Oh
7,
wow.
8, something
Sure.
around that time, 9, 10. I
Yep.
don't, that's a 6-year spread, and that's just as close as I can get to it right now
Yeah.
without digging out my journals and daily logs from years ago and seeing if I can stir the memory. I mean, that's never going to happen. I have journal and daily log material that's in
Are these
loose.
all?
Yeah, these
Oh,
are, but
dude.
so are no, that's them. I moved them all over here. So
Okay.
this is about 20 years of daily log material on and off.
Yeah.
It's all dated. Most of it's just the insane rantings of a God-seeking man who's trying to live out his sense of faith and God in a world gone mad. And he's gone mad too.
Yeah.
So not a lot of high quality material in there. Um, but you don't write things out just for the quality you're putting out. You do
Oh
it
yeah.
for the internal process.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes you need to listen to your own story out your mouth.
Yeah.
And that's where that practice comes in. I've also got an absolute crap ton of
Just raw.
half-baked raw note material in my Apple
Yeah. Account.
cloudosphere. I need
Right.
to make sure if I die that someone has all the passwords.
I'll probably have him. Just write them down. I'll
I
get them.
will.
I'll
It's
get them.
good.
Compiling your
It's good. I
post-mortem
actually keep them on a
biography.
sheet of paper stuck underneath my desk here at. No, I don't.
That would be amazing,
I
dude.
don't.
That would be
No,
amazing.
I do not. That would be my grandfather. You know,
Yeah.
my dad would do that.
And honestly, he probably never gets his account hacked because it's always right there.
Well, I want to talk about John because of John's most recent postings. There have been multiple
I thought it was just
on.
one.
John is a YouTuber,
Jen.
and I have really liked several of John's YouTubes, and that is about as good as it gets with old CapmLew. I'm. It's not our jobs to like things or approve of things. There's a ton of stuff that I don't like that you like, and a ton of stuff you like that I don't like, and none of it matters. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm not confused in that regard.
I thought he said he wasn't going to do skate content. It's all skate content. Oh, I'm
Shush.
sorry. I'm
You've
sorry. I'm
got
sorry.
to just let this happen.
I'm letting it happen.
No, I was listening to John in I'm Finally in Thrasher. This is his
Mm-hmm.
most recent videos. And there was another one here about, I think it's in the I'm Finally in Thrasher one,
Mm-hmm.
where he begins to go through some of the workout stuff that he has to do in order to get his body to function anymore. I don't know. Let me see. No, it might be. I don't know. But he recently did, oh my goodness, the pop-up stuff. It's asking me to rate things now. He went into a big thing and was talking about having to work out to stay at this,
Mm-hmm.
and his content has been for some number of years, I think 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. I'm not really in this. He has a thing called Progress Daily, and John sort of made his brand about progress, like always making sure you're progressing. And
Sure.
Progress Daily, his big branding concept, is
Right.
kind of an inspirational thing.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know if you've followed Progress Daily content, but it's very, get out there every day, make it happen. And then his material, first thing I'll say about John is he chooses some lo-fi tracks.
Yeah.
He has his talking parts,
Yeah.
and then he has his skating parts. Dan Corrigan's on kind of the same vlog
Right.
concept
Right.
where there's talking and then there are skating montages.
Right.
And it's a great format. I think it's a great format.
Yeah, sure.
I do. And he always has chosen kind of classy, lo-fi, hip-hop, relaxing music.
Yeah.
That's just an observation. I neither like nor dislike that aspect of his content.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want it to be identifiable to the listener if they run across it. And in his early work, I've only met him, okay, as a guy running a brand, and him as an up-and-coming skater just before he got offered a spot on Birdhouse.
Oh, yes.
I think it was the summer before that. John was in my area, and now he's from Columbia, South Carolina, where my team would stop in Columbia and skate. I forget the name of it, something Field Skate Park out there.
Yeah.
Very, very cool skate park. It really is. Have you
Yeah,
been?
I don't think so.
Columbia's got, and Columbia also has a cool skate shop.
Oh, that's nice.
Blue Tile has been like an institution, and I don't know if Blue Tile ever sold the boards that my brand sold, but they're very legitimacy oriented. And John came out of a Southern culture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's biracial. Who's nobody is. Probably everyone is tri or more.
Yes.
Really. The thing has been, we've been mixing it up for so long.
I know.
It's time for us to just stop with the how people look.
Right.
How people act is important.
It is.
And John acts well. He's a well-behaved,
he's cool, man.
Kind, thoughtful person. He, one of the things I thought about his early work was that he seemed to be pushing through a lot of probably the fear, and I'm not accusing him of self-loathing, but like being a content creator in the early days of YouTube and doing that content creation within the YouTube lane put you under the harsh criticism
of the big boys,
of what were at that time the big boys. The big boys now are sort of
proceeded to do the exact same thing.
Absolutely. You know? I mean, and this is not meant as a harsh criticism, but it's identifiable. We mentioned in our last podcast that we have seen the what become the what?
The heroes become the villains.
the hunted has become the hunter.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the predators become the prey.
Yeah, right. We've seen that the 9 Club, which has a long history of sort of standing hands on hips, looking, referring to the YouTube skaters, as sort of an outlier to legitimacy.
Right.
We're now enjoying self-deprecating and funny content from Krob.
Yeah, right.
On his, he has a series. It's called, I think, "I'm Glad I'm Not Me" or something like that. And they're funny.
Cool. Yeah,
they're funny and they're cool, and he's cool and he's funny.
Right.
And dry sense of humor. It's great.
That English dry.
Except he's not English.
I know.
He's not even. No, it's not the English dry, right?
It's not that.
Yeah. So John Hill he's had a few snippets come up in his most recent videos.
Mm-hmm.
And one from 9 days ago. I'm taking a long break from skateboarding.
Yeah.
And one of the tough things about this kind of content is, well, it's monetized. These guys make money off of their views. They make a few grand per video.
I will tell you this, from the amount of views I'm seeing, like this last one, I'm taking a long break from skateboarding, has 51,000 views. I don't think he made very much money at all. Like very much at all. Like a couple $100 maybe.
Okay.
I don't think, I think YouTube changed their monetary deal. I think you have to do like a huge volume of views to really make money. I think that's the case.
Listen, I figured from the start that since this is all, YouTube did not used to be owned by Google.
Yeah, at what point? I don't know.
But once I saw that Google took down from their headquarters the sign over the front room that said, "Don't be evil." They took it down.
This is not a good sign, folks. Yeah, dude. The end is nigh.
Except they said, "This is not a good sign, folks," and took down the sign that they didn't like that said, "Don't be evil."
Yeah.
I figured ever since 2009, when I started making like promotionals for my brand, I
Mhm.
thought this content creation thing, I watched as Andy Schrock.
Yeah.
He's a neighbor.
Yeah.
I live near Andy and have seen him. Friendly guy.
Yeah.
Also,
Also nice.
polite, nice, gentle spirit.
Mhm.
Just a kind person.
Yeah.
I like these guys. What they do and what they say, those are always up for discussion, because once we become public people, it's not just that we're responsible for what we say. We are,
Yeah.
and in different senses. I feel responsible for what I say before Almighty God. Still doesn't keep me from totally blowing it. Doesn't.
You'll have that.
It doesn't.
I know.
But I am. I don't feel responsible for pleasing my listener.
That's good.
There's such a thing as pathological agreeability. That's a very Jordan Peterson sounding term, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's actually a good term. It just has, it's meaningful. And anyway, so that's too much disclaimer work.
Yeah.
I'm listening to John.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm listening to him talk about how he's taking a long break from skateboarding, and he goes into saying, like, I wondered about processing this privately, but then I felt responsible to the public,
Yeah.
people that I've
Sure.
created an expectation for content from, and I felt like it was the right thing to let you all know that I'm going to take a big long break from skateboarding. And I thought that was a great way to handle that.
Is his intent to just stop,
Oh,
full stop?
I'm going to get into that.
Okay. All right.
I am, because in this video,
Okay.
he tells us that he took a 2-month break from skateboarding.
Yeah.
And when he got back on his board, it was as if he had been skating the day before,
Yep.
minus being all crushed and dried out and sore.
Yes.
All right. So I'm listening. He even learned a new trick.
Yeah.
2-month break.
Yes.
And I'm listening to this because I'm like, he's just discovering. Kid's been skateboarding for 20 years,
Right.
almost every day straight. And if he couldn't skate, he was, oh no, I'm gonna, I know this mentality. I've been around this mentality many times.
Right.
And I'm the guy who's constantly saying, I mean, if you've skated with me and you've been younger than me and you've been in that place and you've said something that elicits a response, I didn't lose a chance to say, probably you ought to take a break, heal up, drink some water, maybe get your ass in church, crack your Bible,
Right.
think some big thoughts, learn another guitar chord,
Something.
read a book.
Right.
Really all of what you're going to get from selling your time to create content for YouTube, to sell your viewers to advertisers. I mean, it all comes down to Amazon, and it's like
I'm hearing everything you're saying.
it all is. It's
I
like
know.
a whole.
I know.
And so when you're getting your heart crushed and crumbled over all this stuff, and now look, I'm not meaning to completely hate the game, okay?
Okay.
But you and I, Luke, we don't
Mhm.
operate in a culture of wanting to be content creators. That is,
Mm.
being we don't want to be get on that hamster wheel of having to. If our content were to catch on,
Mhm.
that would be nice.
Yeah, sure.
But the kind of effort that people put into achieving virality and achieving, content creation, algorithmic dominance is just, it's not a good allocation of human lifetime, in our opinion. So for 2 hours, 3 hours a week, we put into making our podcast, and we're content with wherever that goes,
Yeah, at least
and
currently.
and we may enjoy ourselves, but I mean, the last time we filmed some skate clips to put up,
Yeah.
we haven't put them up yet. We're not highly motivated.
Yeah.
And we're certainly not going to, I mean, do you see it?
I know the thumbnail deal.
I'm not, it's not just the thumbnail. I have watched John Hill dry himself out break himself off old leather cracking of the soul for many years now, and even brand out Progress Daily, which is an encapsulation of an ethic of think about the pressure that a brand name like that puts on you. You have to progress daily. That's not the brand. The brand isn't you have to progress daily, but it's implicit that you should.
Yeah,
Yeah. And he takes 2 months off.
Yeah.
He takes 2 months off.
And it's great.
And it's great.
Yeah.
And he enjoys himself. And now, very interesting, now he's taking a long break from skateboarding, and good on him.
Yeah, agreed.
Good on him.
Agreed.
He's going to focus on his art stuff and his design stuff.
Yep.
And do some other stuff. And honestly, I care about John as a person who I've met, as a persona that I see in 2 dimensions on a screen. I know he's a real person behind that somewhere. I would feel happy for John if he got free of the Google AdSense algorithmic stuff and just had a wonderful life doing meaningful-ish-esque work.
Right.
And that'd be great. Because I don't have a single second for a shoe review from some YouTuber in my life. I don't have one. I can review my own shoes by trying them on.
By wearing them to the skateboard.
Yeah.
I do think, there's definitely an argument to be made that John has checked the success box as far as the YouTube game goes. Good point. Like 1.1 million subscribers, which is kind of wild because he only has between 20 and 50,000 views per video, which is a lot. But it's not like he's getting hundreds of thousands of views every video.
No, he's been running in the 50s.
And I feel like if I were him, trying to get some perspective, maybe getting a little bit older. Yeah, see, that one has a lot.
That's okay.
But because it has
I thought it was very few.
It has the brand name on there.
Yeah.
But if I were John, I would personally feel like, okay, well, this has been a cool time, and now it's time to do something else. It's been successful. What? Why 9%?
6 months ago, he did one called "Why 99% of Skaters Quit."
It would be interesting to watch that.
I've got to watch that one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he says.
That one's followed by "I'm taking a long break from skateboarding."
Yeah, kind of in
I wonder if part of his reason fits into any of the. I wonder if it's a list.
Do you ever save to watch later?
Yeah, but I never watch them.
Dude, it takes me forever.
It's like an absolute dungeon in there. Let's see if it's tier. Yeah, lack of fulfillment, stress or burnout, incompatibility, finances, personal circumstances. These are not very interesting reasons why people
But they are real reasons.
Okay.
That's why I kind of like John.
We should do one.
Why people quit?
Yeah, number one, because they're convinced that they're not good enough at it. I think that's the number one reason people do what they call quitting skateboarding. I think the number 2 reason is, no, they don't. And let me tell you what I mean by that.
Okay, go ahead.
The number 2 reason is, no, they don't. They think they quit skateboarding because somebody told them that daily progress is skateboarding. But it turns out that having one leaning in your closet for 2 years and then one sunny afternoon thinking, I think I'll just zip down to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
And then going, wow, I can still kick and push. And oh my goodness, I ollied. And then you put it back in the closet, right? You didn't do a flip trick. And so you don't think it counts. So number 1 is they succumb to the inferiority marketing of the mainstream core skateboarding media that convince them that they're not good enough to be one of us.
Yeah.
Number 2 is, no, you didn't. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I want to address injury.
Okay.
Number 3 is injury. But there's a funny thing about injured skateboarders. The injured skateboarder often recovers from their injury over a period of time, during which they feel they fall behind and succumb to the inferiority marketing complex.
Yeah, I'll just see number 1. See number 1.
Or they turn into scenario number 2, which is that they actually do ride the skateboard sometimes, but they
Yeah.
ride it as a less talented than they were aspiring to be
Yes.
skateboarder.
Yeah.
So we've got 3. He did 5, and we've already got 3 busted out right now.
In like 30 seconds.
We could have done this.
God.
Plus, the face.
I know. Look at just the face.
The stress in these YouTubers' faces. What is going on? YouTubers, they're under a lot of pressure.
I'm wondering if we might be painting with too broad of a brush on poor John here, because again, I think that there's an argument to be made that he's actually been relatively successful, and he's saying, "Hey, man, this is just like kind of the end of the road for right now."
Like I've been there, done that.
Yeah, I'm just like been there,
Why
done
not?
that. Like maybe
I
he's just
think he
getting
is
bored.
saying that.
You know what I mean?
I actually, of the 2 of us, I actually listened all the way through it.
Yes.
It's like 13 minutes, and it is not torture. John is good at making his videos. They're an easy listen. I was in my big diesel truck.
Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
American diesel.
I was filling it up.
Yes.
I was filling it up.
Listening.
Hoping it would start good.
Come on, please.
Come on now.
Yes, please.
And it does. It runs like a top. It's doing great.
I'm just.
I think you're right, Luke.
I don't even begrudge him the Progress Daily stuff that he does.
Yeah, I'm sorry I said it that way.
No,
because I don't either.
Yeah.
It's not that negative of a message.
No, it really isn't. And the only reason I feel that way is because I've listened to some of his stuff begrudgingly with you normally, and the guy. I don't love this like vliggity vlog content at all.
The format's
I do not like
a favorite.
it, but I will say this: he seems like a really nice guy.
Really nice
he
guy.
Seems like a very kind dude. He just loves
like what some people would call a good person.
Yeah, just like a good dude.
I have to say that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I think it is encouraging for, especially if you've been skating for some period of time and maybe you're feeling a little bit bored or a little bit stuck, to get to listen to a dude who says, "Hey man, like, no, let's double down. You want to learn how to do something? Let's do it. Practice, do it." And that's what you tell people all the time.
I love that.
You should do 1,000 of them.
I always tell people the same thing. I say, find something you like doing and do it until you discover something else you like doing.
Yes.
And then do it until you discover something else you like doing.
Yeah.
That's how to play the skateboard.
Yes.
And forget about sponsorships, forget about fashion.
Yeah.
Work on your character in your real life, and then when you're playing with skateboards, then just find something you like doing, and just do that until you find something else you like doing, and maybe you'll develop a vocabulary of familiar tricks.
Mm-hmm. That's always nice.
And maybe you're particularly gifted or you're particularly focused on this. You do a lot of time on it, and maybe you get good and you get a sponsorship. But let that be the icing, man.
Yes.
Let it be the gravy, not the steak.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Also, I'd like to make an observation about what John did with this. I'm taking a long break from skateboarding.
Okay.
I have to acknowledge it takes a certain amount of bravery.
Yeah.
Having established Progress Daily to make a change.
Sure.
To make a change.
Yeah.
To do it as publicly as he's done everything else shows integrity.
Yes, which goes a long way.
Integrity.
Yeah, right.
That's what I like about his decision to be frank and open about this.
Yeah.
And he did it in one take.
Yeah, good for him, dude.
He sat down and he talked to us like we matter.
Yeah.
Which I think really is good because we do.
Yeah.
And John has also, I think, done an excellent job at making his viewers and listeners feel like they matter to him.
Yeah.
And I also would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge a lot of the suffering that John, it's probably a stronger word than he would want me to use, but he's definitely paid a cost.
Oh, absolutely.
For the lane that he chose so early.
Yeah.
One of his videos as I scale through is why are old school shapes so old school is back, why old school skateboards are so popular now, and that used to be a hill people died on. If you were on the wrong kind of skateboard in 2005,
you were anathema.
Yeah,
right.
Really, I was almost as bad as being a girl in 2005.
Yeah,
it was dark.
Yeah,
it was dark, and you go back just a few years from there, and it was almost as bad as someone finding out that your private lifestyle was a little outside the I guess the skateboarding acceptable bandwidth.
Right.
What has been, it's fine.
We jumped the
The
ship.
house is on fire. I am a dog. This is a cup of coffee, and it's fine.
It's fine.
I think his coffee cup is empty too.
I know, poor guy.
How do you?
Poor guy.
We
no
actually
thumb.
printed that.
Did we?
At the office.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and someone printed it full color. They used like 75 cents worth of ink.
Yeah, and just put it up.
Yes, dude. One of the owners.
I love it, dude.
Yeah,
one of the owners.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to that video. I know you sent it. I never got time to listen to it, but I am interested. I know.
You're rehired.
Thank you. I'm interested to hear what he had to say. Why
don't you ever fire me? You need to get on that.
All right. I'm on it. I'm telling you to tell me what to do. I also am interested. One of the reasons that I started working out in the very beginning was because my knee was hurting so much. And it was really impeding my ability to enjoy skateboarding. So I started to work out so that I could at least be more limber, so that when I skated, I wouldn't be in so much pain. So I don't know. I think as you get older, you gotta adjust with. You got to roll with the punches a little bit, and I think John's doing that, and I don't mind it at all. I really don't. I mean, none of this content interests me at all. I have often remarked to your face that I cannot believe that you watch him. I love John, but this is just not for me.
I have this window of time every evening. Yeah. I have a window of time every evening where I can sit down and watch content. It's about 40 minutes long. Mm-hmm. And that's where
he has a channel called
Progress Daily.
I understand.
He does. And it looks like his last post on Progress Daily was 4 months ago. Okay. So he's obviously been going through a lot of growth. I call it growth.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I do.
My brand new skateboard.
I chipped it. I broke it. He's got these. Dude. Listen, these guys with their thumbnail games.
Oh, dude, it's insane, bro.
We're not.
It's
we're not gonna do
funny, dude.
We'll probably do it. Who knows? We may have a studio with people in it one day. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Bad art equals good money. This is.
I tried surviving an anime convention alone.
Why is this on Progress Daily?
I don't know.
Why I celebrate Christmas alone? What is happening, dude?
I don't know. I don't feel like it's really my business.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
That's fine.
So how do you feel? Can you synthesize everything that we just said about John Hill into like a paragraph of words? Like how is it all making you feel?
John Hill, we like him.
Yeah.
As a person.
Yeah.
His content, I mean, he's a good person.
He's a good dude.
And I feel like his content is an overall net positive.
Agreed.
A solid net positive in a world full of, you want to be a skateboarder, you better be able to kickflip. Or even like during the reign of
terror,
certain editorial staffs at certain magazines based in certain Franciscos, you had this terrible diehard, heavy partying hell ride concept going. Mm-hmm. And John has been, under that regime, he suffered greatly to achieve putting his own vision for skateboarding out there.
Yep.
He is also, we didn't really mention this, but he's also very talented.
Yes.
He channels that talent into a lot of tech tricks, and has always been one of the, I need an 8.xyz exact board, until he did some stuff in the last couple of years and discovered that, there's a lot more out there than just that. So he's been growing, in my opinion, very slowly in discovering some of the other diversities, because he's been focused on achieving success.
Yeah.
He has achieved a certain kind of success.
Yeah.
Now he wants to go into other areas of his life and pursue other aptitudes and aspirations. And good on you.
Yeah. What is it? What does John's journey tell us about our journey in skateboarding? Not ours, but the general public. Like what kind of lessons can we glean?
Have integrity.
Yeah, that's a good one.
John is a positive lesson in integrity. We often are going to be found pointing out negative lessons in integrity where it's important. Yeah. We've been tough on the bunt.
Well, dude, come on, man.
You know,
if it wasn't so low hanging, you
and
guys know
hanging
it's
so heavily.
and hanging so heavily.
So John is a positive example of
Yeah.
integrity. The way that he's treated his viewers has invited them to be more than fans. He hasn't just blown us away with tech gnarliness.
Wizardry.
He has also allowed us to be maybe disappointed that he is changing direction. Some of his followers and his his listeners, viewers, they're not going to like this.
Can you? That's why you're talking.
Get it, man. Here, let's unlock it with the face. Yeah. Here, take it. Yeah, grab it.
Thanks, bud.
Get that old iPad over there, brother Luke.
I want to do some things here. I'm interested in the comments.
It's a long paragraph so far, but I'm still in that summary.
Go ahead.
Still in that summary.
Continue to summarize.
I do think that this is indicative. Dan Corrigan just put something up along the same lines of backing off of skate content, and so did Ben DeGrosse. Maybe it was Ben DeGrosse only. Dan Corrigan has always tried to speak candidly. I appreciate Dan Corrigan's candor.
Yes.
Ben DeGrosse, DeGros,
is that what it is?
Benjamin DeGros.
All right.
That's what it really is.
All right.
DeGros. Ben, love ya, sweet guy.
Yeah.
Vancouver carpenter. He also has come out with "This is killing my body. I can't skate."
Yeah.
As much as I used to.
Now that I don't like.
John did one
as much
like that. He did one almost just like Ben's.
Really?
I don't know where it is or where it falls, but he went through some of the exercises. Maybe it was a short, but he talked about how skating is killing his body, you know, and I think that probably factors into this.
Yeah.
To some extent. Oh, we're good. I moved this, and then that started.
And then that started. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I would
delicate.
That argument is more of a. Dude, stop! Don't, bro.
No, it's all gonna fall. It's gonna fall down. There we are.
Okay.
We're stable.
Okay.
That was, by the way, for our listeners, that was me just touching basically a piece of paper and destabilizing our entire camera angle.
Because our camera is sitting on a huge stack of loose leaf printer paper. Why are we like this, dude? Why?
At some level, Luke,
I'm in a box.
We must like it this way.
I'm in a glass box of emotion, dude. Dude, all these comments are super positive, bro.
I love it.
They're all like, dude, love you, man. Like, do you? I'll watch anyway. Like, dude, good for him. I will say this.
The
guys,
terrific.
I'm disappointed in the argument. I can't skate the way that I used to, so now I'm going to stop. That sucks. Because I'm like, dude, haven't you seen those old guys who just like ride pull boards and do those ridiculously gnarly front slashes?
Oh, but then these guys, a lot of them, they came up. Let's profile that a little more deeply.
Go ahead.
You're profiling a certain guy, maybe older.
Yeah.
And he's saying, I can't skateboard like I used to, so I guess I'll hang it up.
Yeah.
Or even maybe worse, I guess I'm just not important.
Yeah,
I guess that my life lacks a certain aspect of meaning.
Yeah.
Like that.
Right.
I was just standing with a skateboarder. He's about my age, getting into the 50 zone.
Sure.
Well into the 40s zone, and he has a knee that is missing everything. I mean, for sure, he hasn't had it diagnosed.
Dude.
He's from the kind of the party lane, sort of the extreme lane, and this guy is a ripper.
Sure.
He doesn't know how not to be a ripper.
Yeah, it's hard, dude.
Yes, he's in that very place where he hasn't exactly quit skating, but he sure can't do it like he used to. I had another guy in my life years ago. And he was a well-known among pros, formerly sponsored pro.
Sure.
Less known in the public than he was among the pros. Like when the Maloof Money Cup would go on, he would be in the judges box with Big Pink and the guys there.
Sure.
He was a VIP.
Yeah.
And he rode for me for a number of years.
Yeah.
As a quiet flow rider.
Oh, I know this guy. Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's a good he's a person I love very much.
Sure.
And ought to really reach out and renew our connection because we have a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And it's been a minute since I talked to this guy, but I remember for a couple of years I was telling him, like, hey, like, because he used to go out, throw his board down, and he would just pile
Yeah.
hard.
Sure.
I mean, he would get just roasted on a bail
Sure.
right off the bat.
Yeah, just like
stuff that I can't get up from.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that's what gets me going.
Yeah.
And then he would
Sure.
absolutely rip.
Yep.
And he was aging up. I think he was in his late 30s at the time I said this to him, maybe early 30s, but he's in amazing shape too. He
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
really an athletic
Dude, good
guy.
for him, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him for a couple of years, I was like, listen, I want to tell you. I like put my hand on his elbow and like squeeze it and say, listen, I want to tell you, you're gonna have to at some point or another, you're gonna have to really consider taking it down
Yeah.
a notch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And his response to me, by the way, this is not intended in some sort of I'm smarter than or I told you so.
Right.
But he just kept at that hard charging thing, super hard.
Yeah.
And one day, everything went. His MCL, his ACL, his PCL, his patellar tendon severed completely. And all he was doing was a sweeper in a bowl.
Yeah.
And the sense that I got this, I don't have documentation on the injury, and if I get it, I think I already included maybe one too many CLs.
Right.
But the sense I had from the injury and our conversations after was that he'd been mulching up that joint
for
a long time.
Yep.
And that it was really a culmination of damages that caused this. What do they call it? Catastrophic
failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Catastrophic failure.
Dude. Yeah.
And I'm not crossing my arms and my fists on my hips,
I told
you so. Not at all. Not
It's
at all.
Heartbreaking. Yeah.
It's a part of life, and I dare say that he, to some extent, not that day, but he landed on his feet. He's still going, still loves God and his family, and still, making his way forward. Although we haven't spoken in some years, I presume that he's still trucking.
Yeah. Right.
But I think it's very, very important for us not to lionize.
Yeah.
That is to make an exalted hero of.
Sure.
The high risk, low reward.
Yeah.
Ethic, the core, hardcore thing, because it's
in his destruction.
It's not worth it.
Its God is its belly, and it's in his destruction.
Oh, its God is its belly, and its end is destruction.
No, it's funny when we're talking about this. I've been in this interesting transition within my own skateboarding. I mean, I used to skate every single day for like hours on end.
I think that's why your knee hurts.
That's probably part of why my knee hurts. But I'm in this transition right now where I'm like, okay, well, I got to slow down. I'm skating way, way less than I ever had. My life priorities have changed. I'm doing rehabilitation at home on a knee injury that is mysterious in many ways, and it's changing the way that I'm interacting with skateboarding. At first it was disappointing, and it felt that disappointment really drove this sense of like, oh, this just isn't important. But I've had these moments. It's really funny inside of this, not break, but this slow down period I'm having, where I'll like jump on my skateboard to like ride down to the coffee shop, like you're saying, or I'll like take my dog for a run, and it all like floods back. You just get this huge endorphin rush, and I'm like, wow.
That's so cool.
I love this right now. Like this is so much fun. And I'm excited to continue to push forward on that journey and recalibrate expectations for myself, because I'm kind of excited for my kid to get big enough to go skate, because I really think that's going to be a joyous time to teach and show and live vicariously through him and watch him enjoy all the things that I enjoy. But it's an interesting transition, like there was a while where expected myself to be the person throwing like huge frontside airs and huge backside airs, and I've done some of that with some success, and I'm very happy that I feel like I've checked that box, because those were just goals that I had for myself. And now I'm like, oh man, let's like not necessarily slow it down, but let's smooth it out, and let's take less risks, and let's do what feels good. I love a frontside 50-50. That has just started to feel really, really amazing to me, and become smooth and more elegant. And I don't know, it's kind of exciting. Even having this conversation has kind of reignited this feeling for like, yeah, man, let's go skate a curb. Let's go ride down to the coffee shop. This is fun. It does not control my life in any way. My life is hidden in God, and that's what's important. But this is like something fun that I get to do with people that I love and care about. And it actually drives the pained feeling I have for other people that I see really entrapped inside of this. I got to be good. Yeah. Skateboarding is everything.
We're throwing you a lifeline.
Yeah, bro. Like,
it's it really one of you know, Luke, one of the intentions we have here at the CapmLew podcast is to throw you guys who skateboard a lifeline.
It don't have to be like that.
It does not. Yeah. You really can take it down a notch and increase satisfaction, and they call it fun. You can increase so much, and you can reallocate your bandwidth into things that matter more and even matter most. And still, I think in skateboarding, there's been a history of developing a subculture. That you were either in it or you were out of it. And part of the interest of that subculture was to preserve the exclusivity of those boundaries. And that was always destined to fail.
Hold on, say that, what you said.
So skateboarding, because of, I mean, even in the 50s and 60s, the news media would say it's too dangerous, and it was a low class. It wasn't football, it wasn't wrestling, it wasn't American Pie, you know, corn, whatever, right?
Corn dog, yeah.
It wasn't labor related, it wasn't trades or skills or business or anything. And, you know, there's a lot of good skateboarders out there, you know, some sort of game, you know. So you had that, and what that did was it galvanized the practitioners of the skating arts. It galvanized them into a subculture.
Yes.
I was probably around like 4 of that subculture at the end of the big vert blow up into the street skating blow up. And that, because of the booms and busts in the skateboarding branding industry, you had a real diehard subculture, and the subculture formed industry and media to resource itself. And the media and the industry, actually, they were the same body.
Yeah.
And they capitalized upon exclusivity.
Yes.
And this made skateboarding very, skateboarding is attractive. It's fun to see someone have fun. It's just like seeing someone get a back rub and you start relaxing. You see someone riding a skateboard and you start having fun too.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
So, but they capitalized on the boundary between inside the subculture and outside the subculture. And they invested in the strictness of that boundary.
Yeah.
And that was effective at netting them profitable, you know, that was profitable for them, but they were always doomed, because that boundary was always permeable.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't just mean the existence of folks like, you know, you have Andy Anderson, who somehow has broken down boundaries in skateboarding.
Right.
No. Yeah, he did. He has broken down boundaries, but only by being super excellent.
Right.
The year of the not excellent skateboarding lies ahead of us.
Yeah.
Where skateboarding no longer belongs only to those who perform at insane Chinese circus acrobat levels.
Right.
But where skateboarding is fun, and we're seeing it right now. I follow several TikTokers who are low talent,
Yeah.
high enjoyment aesthetics.
Right.
And they are really fun.
Sure.
So even Loserface on TikTok,
Yeah.
he's very, very skilled. And he made this argument that skateboarding is really hard. And he has a lot of respect for people who just do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got Jeremy J and Skate Papa and Skate with Grampy all interacting with
Yeah.
him.
Sure.
There's a whole culture of people who skateboard just for fun and who don't need to see something difficult to enjoy seeing something.
Yeah.
And the Tired brand
Yeah.
was part of this movement.
Yeah.
Heroin Skateboards is capitalizing really well on this, especially with some of their Japanese
Sure.
skaters. The old guy in
Yeah.
Japan, I don't know, he's like 50 or something.
Oh my God.
You know,
Like the same
I think
age as me.
I think they've got a guy who's almost 80 who rides for heroin.
Wow,
Yeah,
dude.
that's really
That's
cool.
actually very cool.
This is the breaking down of the boundary between insider and outsider.
Yeah.
Along with girls and all of the rainbow and alphabet people, you have this awesome just opening up of skateboarding to the general public that was fought against historically tooth and nail.
Right.
John Hill is one of those people who helped to break down that. The existence of Instagram skating, high waters, no comply tricks, it's all spreading out and becoming dispersed and diffuse.
Yeah.
So the existence of online markets for buying skateboard stuff where you don't have to risk being heckled or being cool guyed at the counter by a real skateboarder.
Right.
And I think it's lovely, and it's rough on the scooter industry because the scooter industry has largely existed because of people who want to roll.
Yeah.
But they want handles because they're not good enough on a skateboard. There was none of that surf vibe and skate the way you want to. And that's a flawed premise, but I think that scootering has its own awesomeness to it.
Yeah.
Just like rollerblading has its own awesomeness to it.
It'll be interesting to see how the big boy mainstream boys react to this shift in the culture that we're seeing.
Look at the 9 Club.
Yeah.
Because one thing they're doing is they're not mentioning the fact that they were against this the whole time, and another thing they're doing is they're doing it too.
Yeah, suddenly they're across the line.
Well, they're becoming
with everybody else, right?
They're becoming fun,
right? Which is cool.
They're becoming non-judgmental.
Right.
I mean, what am I supposed to complain?
Right.
That people who used to hold the line and gatekeep are now profiting off of opening the door and welcoming people in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. I just can't find a problem. That's a real improvement.
It's funny because we're seeing the result that we've kind of wished for the entire time, but I think mostly it's been driven by market values and bottom dollars, or bottom lines.
YouTube skateboarding, there was a period of time during which the single highest numeric, number of units sales brand in America was Revive Skateboards, which was it isn't even a YouTube channel. It was a group of YouTube skaters.
Yes.
Who each had their own channels.
Right. And they were all promoting each other under the Revive brand.
By the way,
go ahead.
Hats off to that decision made by Andy Schrock.
Oh, for sure.
And probably the other guy, I forgot his name. He's nice too. And they all seem nice.
Johnny.
Don't know.
No,
Johnny Giger. No. It's the other guy who's local to us. Johnny's out in Switzerland.
What?
Yeah, Johnny Giger's in Switzerland.
I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah.
It's fine.
Oh yeah.
No, that was Revive did the genius move. They
had a decentralized YouTube station.
Yes, and they committed fully to it, and they reaped the benefits from it.
Yeah, very interesting. Probably there are some flaws to that as a business model, but now you can find those same channels still existing, but they've gone into stuff like unboxing videos,
or like
gameplay,
right?
Prank videos,
super weird. Like
it's fine.
They kind of jumped the shark too. I'm honestly completely mind blown that Thrasher doesn't have a podcast or a YouTube channel where they do long form videos. Like that seems like such a flaw in their deal. Maybe they're really trying to hold that line still, but dude, you guys have been overrun, like.
Yeah, the closest thing to a Thrasher podcast that I've found is an SF area guy.
Yeah.
Talking Schmidt.
Okay.
Schmitty is one of the few guys who seems to run in that circle.
Okay.
Then you've got Deluxe has the Tommy G podcast, which is fairly. It's not Tommy G. It's called BS with TG. Maybe.
I don't know, dude.
And
then Tony Hawk has his deal.
Sure, Hawk versus Wolf with Jason Ellis.
Yeah.
And then I mean there's like the Punk Off podcast out of Fostoria, Ohio. Those guys are just a couple of old punk rock guys.
Is it good?
Chubby dudes in camo shorts
Heck
and
dude.
and black hoodies.
Good for them, dude.
Yeah,
good for them.
Friendly dudes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're the bottom feeder class.
Yeah,
we're in the class with them. There are probably lots of podcasts like ours.
Sure. I haven't seen that many.
It's an interesting time, a time of transition, and also now the money is drying up.
Yeah.
There was a series on YouTube way back in the day. I think the Ride Channel owned it.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Free Lunch.
Okay, I recall that vaguely.
That was one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
Great questions. Great. It was like that Go Skateboarding Day video.
Sure.
Did.
Yeah, dude, that one was.
I even spoofed it.
Yeah.
In there because I had stuff on my beard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these are our thoughts. I want to give a big thank you to John Hill for his work in skateboarding media. I know it's not over. John is probably not going to not skate. I don't think that's what he was intending to communicate.
Just deprioritizing it in his life.
But boy, do we ever support the wisdom of taking a break, getting perspective, developing other skill sets, other interests, and things like that. Skateboarding is my life is one of the worst personal slogans ever.
Yeah.
Skateboarding is a fun, small part of my life. That's more of a thumbs up over here at the CapmLew podcast.
Yeah.
But you'll have that.
You always say skateboarding is the best when it's unimportant. And
yes.
I agree with that. And I also think skateboarding is the best when it's in reaction. In a reaction to the other things that are happening in your life. Like, I'm going to go skateboard and I'm really happy with my marriage and the fact that I have a son. So I'm going to go enjoy myself.
Could you imagine? But there are already plenty of podcasts about having a good marriage and child raising. We're the podcast that encourages you to take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy there.
Yeah, man.
Hey now.
Have a sandwich.
That's right.
Yeah.
Take a breath.
Right, take a breath.
You're gonna wanna take it down a notch there, Tiger.
Yeah.
You're 35.
Yeah.
You're a very good skateboarder for a 35-year-old man or woman.
Yeah.
You calm down.
Don't get hurt.
Nobody's winning X Games golds today.
Right.
So let's all go home in one piece.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Tell me who hurt you.
Point on the skateboard.
That's right. Well, we've enjoyed our time with you guys today. I'd like to take the last moments of our cast today to give a big thanks to Life Skateboards for being the boards that we ride, made by people who actually care about us.
Yeah.
And quality comparison is just unbelievable. Truly made in the USA by people who ride skateboards every day.
Yeah.
A few days a year.
Once a year. I ride my skateboard every day.
Well, Casper is on that diehard.
Oh, dude, he's diehard for sure.
Casper is on that diehard, but he's also outside the box.
Yes, he is.
He's
man.
like
Anderson meets
low transition Andy Anderson.
Yeah. Who's the guy with the tight black pants with the long hair who always is doing the
Christopher Haight.
Christopher Hitchens. No, it's another dude. He rode for Enjoy, I think. He's always doing the two-wheel stuff and all the...
Jason Adams.
No, dude, there's another dude. What's his name, bro?
Tight black pants?
Tight black pants, long black hair. I think he rode for Enjoy. He's always like awling up onto a milk crate and riding the milk crate down the hill.
Richie Jackson.
That's not... Is it not Enjoy?
No, it's Death. Just Death. Skateboards? Death. It's not Death Wish. No, he's always been on. It's Death. It's
Death.
a London. I don't know if it's London, but it is a UK brand.
Yes.
It's always been a small brand. Always been very, very high character brand.
Yeah.
Where's Blood Wizard?
I hope they're okay over there.
Let me tell you something about Blood Wizard. They had the best lore.
They did.
When they first came out, Blood Wizard had the best lore.
Yes.
Yeah, that was in the Baku days.
The Baku
But
days.
our love, appreciation, and just a big data love out to Life Skateboards, the boards we ride.
Yep.
Check them out, www.lifeskateboard.com.
Absolutely.
Enjoy, check through, order a custom, order a longboard, order a 9-ply, order a 6-ply. You got this. They got multiple concaves, multiple lengths, yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada.
Listen, Life Skateboards, you've got a guy.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yes.
So
send us your questions at CapmLew@gmail.com and
that's right.
Like and subscribe.
And if you wish to send a financial boon, a windfall our way,
a windfall of $5.
You can subscribe to the podcast. It's not a subscription; it's just a support link.
It's a support. Yeah, you'll
do a
find
repeating
it.
monthly on the podcast at xpotify.com.
Yes.
And also, we have a PayPal.
Yeah.
We're not against receiving good, solid electronic American coin.
Yeah.
And that is the CapmLew podcast at gmail.com. And as always, CapmLew is not spelled right. It's spelled CAP. That's the easy part. The letter M.
M.
And then my name, Lew,
L-E-W.
which is L-E-W. I know that was a lot. I know by now that was not enough. So I'm going to do it again.
Oh my gosh.
C-A-P-M-L-E-W. Yeah, no. M. No, M.
I'm literally.
Yeah, no, L-E-W, not L-O-U. That's French. L-E-W. Ancient Teutonic warrior.
Oh my gosh, dude.
You got this.
You're
you can do
speaking
it.
down to our audience.
Well, it's a skateboarding podcast.
Yeah, this is what you guys are accustomed to. Don't you like this?
I'm literally going through what I go through every time I try to tell anyone.
I know.
Then they're standing there with their phone in their hand, and then they say, I can't find it.
And then they spelled it wrong. We should have stickers or business cards.
You know what? With a QR.
One QR code.
A
We're
QR
one QR code away.
Bro.
I know, dude.
We could even stick it on the intro.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And the outro.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
You know what? All my fault. Love you. All right, for what it's worth.
Laters. Don't touch it.